like, I'm really just running for money. I'm Love Flow Joe chasing the check. I'm really gonna run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Calm moving through these Hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Calm moving through these Hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. I'm really just running for money. I'm Love Flow Joe chasing the check. I'm really gonna run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Calm moving through these Hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Calm moving through these Hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Bigger the bag, bigger the beef, bigger the problem, bigger the be one of the all in the same. Broke at the end of the month, flow Joe, kill mo, run it up, keep clean. Never let them touch, fits like temper tantrums. Girl, come back that up, all in the club.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Minnesota Vikings.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Minnesota Vikings. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. On 2nd down, Johnson. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. On 3rd down, Ryan. And this is going to be incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
This is taken around the 12. A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now the first carry for Ronald Jones. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
They force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
On play action, it's Mahomes. He's got an open man. He completes it to Callaway. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. He got 29 yards that time. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Hey. Here we go now. Blue 45. Blue 45.
Mahomes now on 1st down. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. The numbers in last week's contest for Ingram: 3 catches, 53 yards.
And I get the feeling that he loves this matchup. I mean, the unit he's going against is in the bottom half of the league against the pass. He had to have circled this one on the schedule and said to himself, this should be a big game.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for Evan Ingram, the tight end. And that'll bring up second down. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught 1 of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
And he comes back with 1 complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw... The football have to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
And again, it's Mahomes. And he's got it. Caught in the end end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Evan Ingram, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
And the Vikings now heading onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
Now a handoff. Johnson looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
3rd and long. It's Ryan. And that is incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Mahomes will try again on 2nd down. Room here to run. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down. They do go for it. It's Mahomes. It's caught. Jones. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th.
Well, they picked up the first down, but I'm just going to say I didn't like it before the ball was snapped, and I don't like it now that they picked it up. Think about field position on their own side of the 50. They don't get it. They put their defense in a bad spot, and it's just not a decision that pays off very often.
Well, it wasn't 4th and a yard. There was some meat on that bone.
There really was. Fortunate to get it in that situation, but not a call I would make very often.
Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A good pickup there, a 22.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Flushed out right. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Mahomes again here on 2nd and 10. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Evan Ingram with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Elliott now to add the extra point. Elliott good with a PAT, and that'll make the score 14-0. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24.
And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. He'll get 4 yards on the carry there, and we will get to the end of the first quarter of play. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've hit the end of quarter 1. 14-0 is our score. We're back to Minneapolis in just a moment.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gault.
A nickel look by Seattle on 3rd down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now. Ryan. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. 5 yards on the carry, good pickup on 1st down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
To throw, it's Mahomes. Drops it to Jones in the flat. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On third down. Here's Jones. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Finding some room at midfield. And connecting here with DJ Shark. And finally brought down at the 43. A good pick up there of 20 yards. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Now Mahomes throwing on second down. He's going to air one out. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. DJ Chark, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. The fly route works for the TD grab.
And you know the receivers love to say, if we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs. You would have to think they're going to make it more of a priority to get him the football. You're losing here in the second quarter, and he's been really quiet.
I think all we have to do, and it's too bad we can't actually see the actual play sheet now from the coordinator, because he's looking down at that and saying, okay, do I put him in different spots? Do I try and isolate him? What routes do I run? You're exactly right. They've got to get the ball in his hands and get their offense kick-started.
He does have the 2 catches, but pretty quiet so far. Johnson, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Fielded just inside the 20. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
Now Mahomes. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the feet. That's caught inside the 20. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 51 yards.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. And it's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Throwing now is Mahomes. And it's caught. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line. Preston Smith able to drop him for a loss of a couple.
Traditionally, as a defense, your number one job, stop the run. But in today's football, it's impacting the opposing quarterback. Make him uncomfortable.
And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back.
Holding offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
Flush to his right. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down. The Seahawks on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Mahomes now to throw. And it's a Seattle Seahawks touchdown. Elliott on for the extra point. Elliott good on the extra point, and a route is on here in this first half. Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
To throw is Ryan. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play, as we'll get a timeout. As the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On 3rd down, Johnson. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Fielded at the 20. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Mahomes now on 1st down. Throw left side complete. It's Malone. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Trying to defend a drag route is really tough because you don't want to jump a route that's shorter or underneath as the drag route is too quickly, because oftentimes they want to run that route and then hit over the top of you for bigger yardage. So if you can chip off the timing of the receiver off the line of scrimmage so he can't actually get into the route, that's the best way to defend it. But there was no possibility of that on that play. End result, the receiver won in a big way.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A solid pickup of 13 sets them up first and goal. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal. Here's Mahomes to throw. And he's going to go down. This will count as a sack, a very short sack, taken down at the 2. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. Back at the 2 now. Here's second and goal. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And pressure gets to him again. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams.
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. This will be taken in at the 1. Gets around him. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half.
Mahomes hit. He lost the football. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he'll bring it back to about the 5-yard line.
Well, that's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
He'll get it up the middle. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect it. And Gold is able to put it through, and that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10. Mahomes going to throw, and he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first, and it's third down now. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important, too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there.
Now the defense loses him. It's complete. It's a big play on third down for the Seahawks. 53 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
And they'll get this down to the 10. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person that's on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching. And there was another first down run right there.
Escaping the pressure right. That is caught at the 7-yard line. 3 yards is the gain that time. Second and goal.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on second and goal. Looking to throw is Mahomes. The quick slant caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's third and goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
Mahomes throwing on fourth. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Evan Ingram, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks are running away with this one. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. There are none too plays that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Ryan now to throw on third down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
So how would you describe that one, partner? Workmanlike right there, getting that first down, blue-collar type football?
Yeah, only needed 3, got 4, just enough. I like workmanlike.
I think this
pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Man, he got... there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
They just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? Who? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
that is
by the time
one
we have to
positive.
leave the booth.
The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Check 27. Eyes on 27. Watch QB draw.
On first and 10, here's Mahomes. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
Here's second and 10 now from the 29.
Ace!
On second down, it's Jones. Jones breaking from the contact. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
After the run by Jones, here's first and 10.
4 down. Here we go now. Green 90. Green 90.
Mahomes now on first down. That is incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, look credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been.
Oh, wide open, complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DJ Chark. With his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And this Seahawks offense continues to pour it on. Elliott good with a PAT, and that will extend this big lead. Elliott now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
False start, offense.
They expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. In on the stop, it was Tarvarius Moore.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Four down, check, four down. Ready, 280, let's go.
Third and long, it's Ryan. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Nearly a huge return as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Look at DJ Chark as he and the rest of the offense head back out. And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he's really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there's certain barriers that you just don't want to give up. You never want to give up a 100-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver. He's closing in on 200 yards. Wow, that's a really big game.
Mike's by four.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. They go play action. Now Mahomes. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 10.
Four down.
On play action, it's Mahomes. Mahomes hit. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10.
Hey, express. 280.
Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. David Johnson here on the catch. It's a gain of 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
On 2nd down, Ryan. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Ryan now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Burton. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Throwing on 3rd and long. Ryan. And that's complete. It's Allington. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Now this is fielded in the end zone. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
Mahomes will try again on second down, and he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first, and it's third down now. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long, with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
Here we go now. Green 90. Green 90.
From the gun on third down, Mahomes fighting, but now he's swallowed up and taken down. Avery Jones in there with pressure yet again, and that's the 7th time they've dropped him here this afternoon. And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. Landry now on the return. A very good return that time. 18 yards. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for him.
That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your number 1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down. Over the middle, complete. That's Burton. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A gain of 6 there on first.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks, because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Ryan had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And Gold is able to put it through, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Now, this is going to put them back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Mahomes going to throw it here. He's going to let this one go deep. And got his man complete. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Here's Ryan. It's complete to Diggs. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. From the shotgun, Ryan. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Vikings send out their punter. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 23. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And checking that NFL scoreboard there in the fourth quarter down in Arizona. And it's the Rams extending their lead as they've just put more on the board. If they hang on, that would up their win total to 5 on the season so far. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Interesting, Mahomes wants to throw it. Dancing to his left. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Illegal forward pass. Offense.
So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
The Seahawks on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. A defensive breakdown allows a pickup of 16 on 4th down. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Throw left side complete. It's Malone. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Give him 30 yards there. Not only the completion, but that pass also gives him the record for most passing yards in a single game. What a day.
That tells you that the completion percentage is really high. Yards per pass.
And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown. The blowout continues. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well at hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with this one. I struggle. But on the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners
who
had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Seahawks,